morning. Giving y'all a moment to get in here. Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? I think I see Xander stepping up in the building. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's a beautiful Saturday morning with a little bit of, a lot of overcast, a lot of gray, not just in my beard. Alicia Trigg? Wow. Good morning. I ain't seen you in here in a minute. Been a while. How you been? Got some potentially good news. And you know what? I hope it spreads like wildfire to all those 20-some states that have already, passed constitutional carry. I hope this thing that I'm getting ready to talk about, I hope some people catch on to it and take it to the next level. At least Trick, I'm on the road a lot, but good to see you. Yeah, nice seeing you too. Black Spring with Autumn was good. It's a long ass red light, man. Anyway, so how y'all doing this morning? Freedom Marchers, how y'all doing? I see like 4 people commented so far, but the thing is only showing 1 person in the room, but it's all good. How y'all doing? Y'all see I'm wearing the Queen's Thrones sweater, hoodie. It's very comfortable. Y'all go check her out. Anyway, so I got some exciting news, man. Now this is coming out of Oklahoma, right? Now we all know that Joey B, if y'all Freedom Marchers will come in here when y'all get in here, please hit the like button. So the algorithm can send this out to the 20 or 30 people that they send it out to, because that's all I get. That's all the love I get. Maybe they send the notification out to about 10%, maybe 5% of my subscribers, but it's all good. What are you gonna do? I can't get monetized, so there's no incentive for them to put my shit out there. But anyway, some good news, man. Y'all know about the mandates, right? The hokey pokey mandates that Joey B put out for the military, which that's separate from what he tried to do with the private businesses with OSHA. That was stopped, right? That was stopped by the courts. The court lottery that happened or whatever the fuck. So that only applies to private businesses that he was trying to get with, over 100 subscribers, 100 employees, trying to get snapped or whatever. Now with the military and the National Guard, he don't have to, there's no court really that's going to protect the military from that, because you sign the dotted line and you're giving yourself over to the government as their property. And they see vaccinations as something that isn't a human rights violation, right? So when you get in there, you go through Needle Aisle or whatever you want to call it. I forgot what they called it. Needle Alley. When I went to the military, you went through Needle Alley. There were you got so many snaps, and there would be a nurse on each side of the walkway. You walk and you get jabbed, jab. It's just you going through the alley and you getting jabbed every 2 seconds. And I forgot exactly how many you get, but it's irrelevant. Well, when it comes to the Modelo 19 hokey pokey, Oklahoma is saying no to enforcing the mandate on their National Guardsmen. And so, the federal government's like, oh, you better do it or else. And Oklahoma's like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. And National Guard said, look, you better do this shit. All right, you better force your people to get jabbed. And Oklahoma stood on their nuts. They said, nope, we ain't doing it, Pippin. And so guess what happened? The federal government, the Pentagon, has threatened to not recognize the Oklahoma National Guard as part of the overall military, and they would then become a state militia. I don't know what kind of threat that was, but to me, that sounded like a dream come true. All right. Now, would it be perfect? No, because you still have state functionaries that would be in control of that National Guard. You would just go from there. You would go from there and say, you know what? The militia belongs to the people now, right? It's not under the same rules as the UCMJ. We're going to do it our way, and it's not going to be where you're signing your life away necessarily. I mean, it's still a voluntary force. So if there are certain things that you have to sacrifice to become part of a military force, because you want to be disciplined, you want to be strong, you want to have a well-regulated militia, right? And when I say well-regulated, like they meant back in the day when they wrote the Second Amendment, meaning well-equipped, well-oiled, well-stocked, right? With the weapons and ammunition, everything that militia needs would help it become well-regulated, right? So the only difference that would happen, the only thing that would happen new is you would open up the militia to any volunteer in that state that wanted to participate on any level that they wanted to participate. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can be part-timers, there could be full-time National Guardsmen that are doing the job of, what essentially the active military would do, except they would just be in the state. Their job would be to train, to be efficient, and do all those things. And the people in the state would voluntarily give to that militia if they knew it was better, if they knew it was good for them. People wouldn't have a problem. Listen, if you give people the opportunity and you explain to them why it's needed, people would give to necessary things that need to be done, right? Like if a road is full of potholes and they're getting tired of getting their tires damaged, well, they can see the wisdom in putting some money in to getting the shit fixed, or they would participate in the labor of getting it fixed. So there's many different ways people can participate in society and help their society grow, help their society become better. And it doesn't have to be forced. It doesn't have to be forced. So this would be a great thing if only it was taken to the level it needed to be taken to, right? Okay. You don't want to recognize our National Guard as part of the federal military anymore. Well, then how about this? How about you don't recognize us as a state of the Union, and we become our own independent nation, or our own sovereign nation within this country, within this land, I'll say. This would probably encourage other states to do the same thing, right? It will probably encourage other states like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, Florida, to maybe want to break away and become independent and maybe have a pact or a treaty amongst themselves to ensure, right, that the remaining federal states don't try to encroach on them. So, they keep their National Guards people, they become militia people, and you bolster your own self and all that other shit. You become self-sufficient, you become a sovereign state within this land that they call the United States of America, and you go from there. It's not really complicated. And not only that, all that can be done peacefully. Because what is the Pentagon going to do to the states for not forcing their National Guards people to get snapped. They're not going to do shit. What are they going to do? We're going to go to war with the National Guard? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's not going to go over well with the brass and the Pentagon, right? And you know, the generals and the colonels and all those people, the command structure, they understand that morale is very important. And if they start going after fellow soldiers in different states because they don't want to get snapped, well, that's not going to go well with the active military, the active army, the active Marines that operate under the Pentagon, which is part of the federal government. So what can they do? Nothing really. They like they said, they would just dissolve them and they would become the militia. And guess what? All that money that the state gives to the federal government, and look, it worked both ways, right? The state gets money from the federal government, but they really don't get money from the federal government. They get money from the people that they have extorted, which then gives it to the state. So the state could get the money from their own people on a voluntary basis. That's how it should work. Everything should be voluntary. If it's not voluntary, it's coercion. And if it's coercion, it's tyranny. Point blank and period. Just like the mandate. The SNAP mandate is tyranny. Taxes is tyranny. All that. I was talking to my brother yesterday, and I was trying to explain that to him, because he's one of the more logical people that I know that feel like Kyle Rittenhouse probably is guilty. But you know, he can be reasoned with, right? And at some point he had to concede to my points, because every point he brought up was basically a fallacy, right? The same talking points that these people are going to give you that were mad that Kyle Rittenhouse got found not guilty. But the point is, I talked about how this oppressive system is oppressive to everyone, because he was trying to draw a distinction between the oppression that black people receive and the oppression that white people receive, right? There's a disparity, right? And we can argue it until we blue in the face. I'll debate anybody about the existence of that disparity of oppression between blacks and whites. We can have that debate. If y'all want, because I know there's some people that don't agree. If y'all want, I could do a StreamYard one day, and I can sit down so I can concentrate, and we can go over it. But anyway, I explained to him, like, look, like I've explained to many people hundreds of times before, even if white people aren't as oppressed as black people, they're still oppressed, and I don't want them to be oppressed either. It's not their fault that the system oppresses black people more to cause division, right? It's a way for them to cause division, right? And that's why these leftists are always talking about racist this, racist that, sexist this, sexist that. They want that division. They want that because they understand that conservatives don't believe that, right? You know, and they both groups suffer from cognitive dissonance. Their status, and they're stuck in that left-right paradigm lie, that Kabuki Theater. You know what I'm saying? There's still attendance to that Kabuki Theater. And there's nothing wrong being an attendant to the Kabuki Theater, because I am as well. But I have my They Live glasses on. Or was that what that movie's called? With Roddy Piper? I got my glasses on. As a matter of fact, I'm so discerning when it comes to this Kabuki Theater. I done got LASIK surgery so that I can see what I used to see with them damn glasses on. So I don't even need the glasses. I can see the bullshit without the glasses. I can see the propaganda. I have excellent discernment skills. Anyway, everybody's being oppressed. But it's not the oppressed people's fault that they're being oppressed less than you. So why are we mad at Kyle Rittenhouse? Why are we mad at people like that? Because they're white, and we need to get over that shit. Black folks need to get over that shit. I used to be like that, man. Real shit. I used to be all about the freedom movement. I've been on the freedom movement since I got out of the army, right? Except I was just concerned about black people's freedom. That's it. It took me a while to recognize that we all, white, black, Hispanic, if we live under this system, under this system's rule, and we aren't part of the elite class, and we know the elite class, they aren't oppressed as we are. They operate outside the system. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about how Nancy Pelosi increased some tax. I forgot exactly what it's called. That's why I wanted tomorrow when I talked about it to have a printout of a number of key things in this bill, the new bill that passed in the House. I wanted to have some key details about it, but it increased the tax breaks for the elite by 7 times. But Joe Biden put $80 billion, in the bill for the IRS so that they can hire 80,000 people to perform more audits on, guess who? The lower middle class. And somehow that's going to ensure that billionaires pay their fair share. I mean, how stupid they think we are. Anyway, I digress. Look, white people are getting taxed. White people have to be, white people are harassed and accosted and forced to have conversations with police officers. White people, white people are held under the same laws as black people. Now, granted, do white people commit crimes at the same rate as black people? Yes, that's true. It's just that they're not as likely to be even suspected for the crime they're committing, and they're not as likely to get sentenced or even charged with the same level of crime as black people. That's a fact. We can debate that too. Anyway, but that's irrelevant, really, because it's not that white person's fault. It's not the white meth head's fault that they keep getting misdemeanors or they get, they get breaks. It's not their fault. They're just enjoying that level of privilege. Yep, I said it. Anyway. So we're all oppressed under the system. And I think people are starting to realize that, especially some black people. And I work hard every day. I do. Because I got black friends who don't recognize that. They don't think white people are oppressed under the system. They don't believe that white people suffer under the same tyranny that we suffer. They believe that white folks get away with everything. As a matter of fact, that's what my brother said yesterday. My brother said, "Do you think it's right that white people get away with everything and don't, don't get punished?" No, he said, "Do you think that it's okay?" He said, "Do you think it's okay that white people can do whatever they want and get away with it and not get punished?" I said, that's not even a real thing. That's not even a real thing. And this is what people think, and this is why we're stuck in this mire, right? This is why we're stuck in this quagmire of oppression, because half the people don't know they're enslaved, and the other half don't believe the other half is enslaved. We're all enslaved. And when we recognize that, we can put our differences aside for a moment and focus our ire, focus our anger on the right enemy. And they are the enemy. Anybody that takes money out of my paycheck without my consent, and if I refuse to give you my money, then you're going to come to my house and audit me and try to, force me to give you some money. And then if I don't do it, you're going to fine me, charge me penalties and put me in jail. When I have committed no crime, all I did was keep my own motherfucking money. All I did was keep my own money. That's all I did. And that's a crime to these people? But see, that happens to everybody. So, if certain states break away from the union, the people of those states will undoubtedly have more power. And there are certain things that need to be demanded, right? If you want to continue to represent us, then you're going to represent us on the basis of, if you fuck up, we will remove you forsooth. That means, that's Victorian for right a motherfucking way. We will remove you forsooth. We won't need no impeachment. We won't need no trial. If we know you fucking up and we know you're not representing properly, then you're done. You don't control us. You're our boss. And that's how it's going to work. And anybody that wants to opt out, doesn't want to they don't want to acquiesce to that system, then they can opt out. They can do their own thing. And then when they want something or they need something from the community, they can, participate willfully and voluntarily, because you can't get something out of something without putting something into it, right? And that's how it's supposed to work. If you build a community, everybody has to participate and contribute. Otherwise, it's going to be unbalanced, right? And then, of course, unless you're elderly or disabled, then, we take care of you. And that's how it's supposed to work. We don't need the government for that. All we need is structure and order. We don't need government to have structure and order. That's what people don't understand. People don't understand that we don't need government to have order. We don't need government to have peace. We don't need government to have prosperity. We don't need government to have structure. We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need it. The only thing the federal government is there to do, government period, is to control you, steal your wealth, and destroy and rape resources. That's what governments are for, right? That's what governments are for. Once you form a government, then you're forming a terrorist organization. Point blank and period. You know what I'm saying? I'll repeat that. I'll coin, that's my coin. I coined that shit. Once you, what did I say? Once you create a government, you create a terrorist organization. Once you form a government, you form a terrorist organization. That's just what it is. Because a government cannot function without terrorizing people, without enslaving people, without oppressing people. Because government is about control. And when you try to control people against their will, you are committing a form of terrorism. And that's point blank and period. There's no two ways about it. You could try to rationalize government. There's no way to rationalize it. Government is not good. Government is not noble. Government is not, there's nothing good about it. Can anybody tell me? Once I park, please somebody tell me. If anybody knows one thing, the good thing the government has done without taking, now look, here's the parameters. If you're going to tell me anything the government did that was good, they can't have taken from someone else to make that good thing happen. And we all know that when the government does anything, it costs money. And they get that money from who? The people. The government can't do anything without spending money. It's as simple as that. So if anybody can tell me one good thing the government has done without taking from someone, I'll concede that, okay, the government has done one good thing. Even when they feed the needy all over the world, for some reason they don't do that, Well, they do that. It's a pain ass. You have to be, you got to get a 501c3 if you want to feed the homeless. Anyway, that's another story. Anybody tell me One good thing the government has done for anybody that didn't result in them taking from somebody. Like a transgender, a transformer, might think that giving, what, $50 billion to Pakistan for gender studies is a good thing. But who did they get that $50 billion from? Well, they printed some of it and they got some of it from us. And so, who has to pay for that in the future? Our children and our children's children do. I know most of y'all are with the program and no government ain't shit, but people are corrupt. Okay, Timmy Gunn says Tyranny Bang. Government equals people. People who are corrupt demons. They corrupt everything. How did you grow that beard so quick? Oh, I don't know. It just started growing. I was like, you know what? Because my beard grows fast. I just, shave it often. Well, no. That's a lie. I don't shave it often. I only shave once a week. Real shit. I only shave my head and my face once a week. But, I just let it grow. And I put some stuff in it, like this. And I just, I let it grow. I comb it so it can, so I can train the way it grows, all that good stuff. Black Swan B1 says, good morning, TDOA chat. The government today has replaced kings and queens. The rich are the nobility, while the rest of us are peasants and serfs struggling to survive. Exactly. Taxation is theft. This is a straight up oligarchy. This is, matter of fact, this system is not, well, it has been for a while. It has been going from a constitutional republic or a democratic republic. I know Republicans don't like that term, but it's a democratic republic because we are governed by representatives who are chosen through a democratic process. So it's a motherfucking democratic republic. And it just has to happen to be a constitution that is supposed to bind them into certain ways of doing business, because the U.S. is a corporation. The United States is a corporation. Anyway, nobody has anything good the government has done. This is a question I'm going to ask people on Facebook because I want to see what they have to say, because they don't trust the government, but they want the government to do things like, throw Kyle Rittenhouse under the bus. Anyway. Somebody says, well, your beard is very good looking. I appreciate that. Oh, and happy day and good morning. Good morning. James Miller says, mud patriotism. That's what's good about the U.S. government. No, patriotism is good for the U.S. government. Anybody got nothing? Well, I'm about to get up out of here. I'll talk about the sex offender term being offensive later. Maybe on my way back from the gas station. I got to go get some gas from Costco, which is like, Costco has the cheapest gas in California. And the gas is good. It's really good gas. So if y'all in Cali and you don't, well, I don't know if Costco's are in how many other states Costco's in. But if there's a Costco and you don't have a Costco card, it's $60. Go get a Costco card. Just go get some Costco gas, because that's probably going to be the cheapest you're going to find as far as premium. So I get premium gas from Costco for $4. I never pay over $4.20, where other places it's like $4.89 or some shit like that. I know that's expensive, but I'm in California, and I'm looking forward to getting the fuck out of here in February and going to a state where the gas is much cheaper. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Oh, you in Alabama? I'll be very close to Alabama, James. I'll be very close to Alabama. I'm not gonna tell y'all which state I'm going to yet, but I'll be very close to Alabama. I'll be very close to Atlanta as well. I'll be very close to Charleston. I'll be very close to where else? Tennessee. I'll be close to North Carolina. I'll be close to South Carolina. I'll be close to not really close to Florida. I'll be close to West Virginia. I'll be close to Virginia. I'll be all up and through that area, and I will be looking for some land. As soon as I get out there, I'm probably going to be looking for some land within a couple months. I'll be on the search. So I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm gonna give me some land. I'm gonna build my AI dome, and we gonna get some homesteading cracking. But I gotta link up with the homie. I'm gonna be linking up with the homie out there. We got some big plans. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna start a whole nother channel based on what me and the homie is doing. Y'all stay tuned to that. You know, the RV thing, I really want to do that, but that's probably gonna happen later. So it's all good. Yes, thank you. Congratulations, TDWA, for getting out of California. Great move. Yes, yes, yes. My wife still isn't too happy about it. She keeps, she's very upset and sad, and I understand, because she feels like she's not gonna have a support system out there. But I got family out there. My family's her family. Trust me, she'll have a support system. And my family where I'm going, they're very good people. So I know she's gonna be all right. She's gonna be all right. The biggest thing she's concerned about is her herbal medicine. It's not very liked in those parts of the country, in that part of the country. Or the herbal medicine, they don't really like people to enjoy that on that side of the country in certain states. So yep, I'm going somewhere in the South. Goddamn right. Robert Lynn Solch, where'd you go, Robert Lynn, if you don't mind me asking? Thank you, Alicia Trigg. What state? But I'm so... Oh, Nevada. Yeah. I was thinking about Nevada, but no. It's too blue. Nevada's tripping. Like, I can't roll with it. And plus, it's like, I want to be able to grow, right? And where I'm going, they have excellent soil. Like, things grow really good out there. Probably as good as in Northern California, Central California. Because Central California, they can grow a lot of shit in Central California. It's basically the same there. So I want to be able to grow year round. So where I'm going has mild winters, and it doesn't really snow like that. So I need to be able to grow year round, and have access to the beach within a few hours from my wife, because my wife loves to go to the beach, and boom. So there's some clues for y'all as to where I might be going. I will have access to the beach within that state, mountains, because I love the mountains. There's a lot of green, a lot of woods, a lot of trees, and a lot of opportunities for camping and hunting, and I'm gonna be getting it in. Like, trust me. Yeah, it's fairly libertarian. When I moved, things changed, my friend. Yeah, I'm sure when you moved out there, it was a lot more. It was a lot better. But they're trying to turn everything west of the Mississippi blue. You know what I'm saying? So, including Arizona. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll probably get back on here and talk about how sex offender is so offensive to sex offenders. What about the children and the women and the victims? Do you think they were offended? Y'all stay tuned for that. What's up, L78? Much love. Thank you guys for popping in. Please hit that like button on the way out, so that at least this can be shared and people can watch the replay. And I love you guys, man. Real shit. Y'all are my freedom marchers, and that's what we're going to continue to do. March toward freedom.